All right, folks, we're back on the W.A.D.E concept presented by the Ring Magazine. And let me tell you something. Naoya, Inoue just showed you what boxing's supposed to look like. In a weekend full of showing up for money, showing up to the ring to survive, showing up to win a boxing match by the Marquess of Queensberry rule set, but not looking to win a fight, showing up in spite of the fans instead of to entertain the fans, showing up to just get by. Naoya Inoue showed up to shut the show down. Excuse my language, but that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you perform, not just in an undisputed world title fight, but that's just how you perform on the main stage of boxing when you're a pound for pound top 5, potentially top 2, and I'm not 2. Naoya Inoue just absolutely saved boxing, stole the show this weekend with the names like Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and it's because he showed up to fight. He didn't show up to box, he showed up to scrap. And by the way, for as much as I'm going to talk about Inoue in this fight, it wasn't easy, and that is because he wasn't the only man to show up to fight. Ramon Cardenas, you, sir, have everyone's respect, and I'm about to tell you why it took everything and some for Inoue to bring out that monster and give the Vegas fans and boxing fans a reason to remember some of the pound-for-pound greats still show up to throw down. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. Like I said, Naoya Inoue fighting at 122 for all the belts against Ramon Cardenas in his first ever title fight, by the way, in Las Vegas. Inoue was a minus 6,500 favorite. Again, we know he's a pound-for-pound great. We know he is at the top of boxing. And tonight, honestly, he deserves the respect of saying he might be at the tippy top of boxing because of what he did, how he showed in his world title fight, not only his ability, his skill, but his perseverance, his heart, his game plan, his mental reset, because he needed all of it in this fight. As the fight starts, you see Inoue in there with, again, a guy in Ramon Cardenas who is not a household name, does not, for any other reason than being in the ring with Inoue, give you any reason to think he may be able to do this until the fight started, and you saw that Cardenas not only had skill, but he had an idea of what he wanted to do. He had his high guard up, trying to force Inoue to throw those combinations, see what Inoue had, and then potentially counter him. We'll get to that in the next round. But Inoue, again, started the fight well. There is no warming up rounds with this guy. There is no, let me feel out the ring here. Let me take a couple of rounds to get ready. He's in a 12-round fight. Granted, he's at a lower weight class, 122 pounds, but it's fury from the absolute beginning. He's jabbing you in the face, regular jab, bang, up jab, right hand's behind it. From there, going to the body, slapping with some, but then really bringing the heat. A good first round from the champ. And again, in a moment, it looked like, okay, well, Inoue's going to do what Inoue does. He's going to go full-on monster mode on this kid and run away with this thing. And then the second round happens, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you something. Ramon Cardenas, with a left hook from absolute hell, rains down on Inoue's chin after Inoue got a little too comfortable being in the pocket, because that's where he fights, by the way. He fights right on the edge of that fire where he's dangerous enough to hurt you, but there's moments that you can hurt him back. And that is what fighting is, ladies and gentlemen. Sure, you can take the safe route. You can be someone that is very slick and is very elusive and not be able to counter back, but that's okay because you'll reset the action and start your work again, and that's fine. We all love a slick boxer here and there, but damn is it not nice to see a guy that teeters on that border of fucking crazy. You know, that switch is just a little bit too easy for him to flip, and he might just break the fucking thing off and throw it away because he just stands there right in the middle of the pocket. And yeah, he'll make you miss, make you pay, but he almost wants that fight to start. He's almost egging you on to say, yeah, bring that shit. And sometimes, you know what? He pushes the button too many times. And this fight he did, because Ramon Cardenas said, cool, you want me to bring it? Left hook, knuckle fucking sandwich right across your chin piece. And floored Inoue, drops him in the second round with a beauty of a counter shot. Because, again, yes, Inoue is so dangerous because he's on that line of punching in the pocket and just being outside of it, but It creates openings when he misses, and his defense, because he commits so much to what he wants to do offensively and because he has such belief in it, defense will falter sometimes. And just then, because of that high guard that Cardenas was showing him, Inoue throws his combination, drops his right hand a little bit, boom, left hook across the chin, and like I said, drops him. Big time shot. I mean, a big one right at the end of the round as well. Inoue pops up and the round ends, but a beautiful round to Cardenas. And he followed it up in the next round because it wasn't just the left hook. And this is why I said, while yes, Inoue deserves all of the credit for not only the perseverance he showed by getting off the canvas, but by getting back into that fire in the next round and the next round and the next round. He did not get off the gas pedal. If he did, we could be talking about upset of the year, couple of years, 5 years, decade, whatever you want to call it, because Ramon Cardenas was here for this fight. The next round, he comes out, and I thought he won the next round. And if you would have seen a performance like, again, a Ryan Garcia or a Devin Haney where they got dropped and became shells of themselves, Cardenas would have won this fight. He potentially would have walked Inoue down and hurt him again and won. But Inoue knew he had to get back on his front foot and not let the confidence go even further for Cardenas, not let Cardenas get even more momentum and get on his front foot even more. He wasn't allowing him to do that, and because of that heart, that perseverance, even after the next round where Cardenas, it wasn't just the left hook, it was the right hand he was sitting down on as well, but because Inoue was able to sustain in that moment, yes, Cardenas had a great moment in that second round, and he had great moments throughout the fight, but his volume was nowhere near what it was going to take to be able to continue to find openings in Inoue's offense to defense or defense to offense. Like, there was just not enough punch output, and that's because Inoue was starting to mount his offense, and it was all behind that fluid, sweet, I want to make love to it. Yes, I said it, jab, son. It was, again, the up jab, bang, vertical with the thumb up, just boom, boom, piercing the guard, and then he would come around with some slappy hooks and then up, right hand down the middle, boom, over the top as well. And all of that stuff wasn't really getting the attention of Cardenas. It was landing, it was definitely hurting, but it wasn't getting him to back off his game until you started to see Inoue follow it, right hand, left hook to the body, rip the stomach, and again, get to the liver, get to the ribs. It was like his accuracy was made in a video game in some of those combinations where he was, again, Cardenas, he did go away from the high guard at one point. He started to try to Philly shell and roll shots. I thought that was a bad idea just because his ability to counter off of it, catch counters were not there, and you essentially give up the ability to see the right hand and defend it. Like, yeah, you can see it, but you roll with it. If you get caught with something else is coming behind it. I just didn't like him going to the Philly shell there. But Inoue was starting to mount his offense, and you're just seeing the numbers pile up, and for every one big counter that Cardenas had, and he did have, again, moments throughout this fight. Every time he had a big moment, it felt like Inoue had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big moments behind it and was starting to walk him down and put him against the ropes again. And once Cardenas got flat against the ropes, it was tee-off time. Inoue might as well been at fucking Top Golf on his birthday, the way he was swinging drivers over and over. I'm talking just leather. He was planting. And again, you got to give it up for Cardenas because, yeah, it takes two to tango in fights like that. And again, I call it a fight because even when Cardenas was losing, even when Inoue was mounting pressure, he refused to go away. He, the guy that wasn't the champion, the guy that was, they said on the broadcast, an Uber driver up until 2023 or maybe still in 2023. I'm not sure. The guy that understood that this was the biggest moment of his career. He didn't take it for granted. He knew he had one opportunity, one shot to be in front of that kind of crowd to make his moment, and he took advantage of it to the best of his ability. He was in there with, again, you could maybe say top 2, top 3 pound for pound guy in the world, and he didn't fear the lights, and he got hurt, and he didn't go away, and he didn't try to play the safe route. He didn't just say, you know what, I'm making shit tons of money here, more than I probably ever made in my life, but I'm just going to phone it in now because I had my moment. He could have easily have had the second round and gone, hey, I knocked down Inoue. That's all that matters to me. But that's not what he did. He kept fighting. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what fucking boxing's about. Not giving up when things go bad. Not being able to say die, even when you know it's not going your way. Going out on your shield. Giving it all for the people that have paid tickets to watch that. And also for yourself. For your own respect. For your own legacy. For your own will. To go out and say, you know what? You're going to have to nail me to this mat. You're going to have to put me away for me to say die. And that's exactly what happened, but still, all the respect in the world to Ramon Cardenas because he came out as a guy that had almost no shot on the Vegas scorecard and proved to them all that he had a lot more of a chance than people thought. But eventually, Inoue became absolutely too much to handle. Like, he was getting to the point where he was like, power levels were going up as the rounds were going on. And that's because, again, his pace is ridiculous. His jab was opening up everything. And then I think it was round 5 or 6, he really hurt Cardenas with a right hand. They went 50-50 on a right hand. Both guys lead right hands at the same time. His connected on the button. Cardenas just missed his, or maybe landed a glancing one. That backed him up into the ropes, and then Inoue with the lead hand, boom, took the man's ribs off his body and barbecued him like he was at the cookout. It is a Sunday. It makes sense. And from that point, it was just, you know, a snowball rolling downhill, because round after round, Inoue started to just tee off, mount offense. Cardenas couldn't really push him back, and in moments where he did, Inoue would gather himself again and flurry, offense going crazy, not worried about potentially getting clipped or getting dropped or getting hurt, because he's a fighter at heart. And he even says, you can tell what I like to do, folks. I'm a brawler at heart. And that's probably the best base for a boxer. A puncher that learns to be more controlled and learns to be more defensive, learns to be more technical, but someone that is ingrained to, at all costs, or if anything fails, or if I got to hit the red button, I am going to brawl until someone falls. That kind of guy is a fighter I want to watch. That kind of guy makes for some of the most legendary world champions that have ever lived. It was ultimately Inoue who, I think it was in the 7th round, drops, even though he didn't actually hit the canvas. Inoue put the beats on him, was battering Cardenas around the ring, and he kind of stumbled and was going to fall to the canvas, but caught himself on the ropes, gets the count, survives the round, and then in the next round, Inoue seals the deal with just a flurry of combinations, upstairs, downstairs, shot selection, accuracy, punch volume, ferociousness, power. He had it all in this fight. He had every single thing that makes for a world-level fighter, and I don't care that he's 122 pounds. If you have it, I'm a fan. What a performance. Again, it took Sunday night of one of the greatest name value weekends of boxing we'd seen in a while, and it took Naoya Inoue to show the world what it means, regardless of pay, regardless of position, regardless of world championships, regardless of fans, how you go in there and showcase an ability to prove you're not just a top boxer in the world, you're a top pound-for-pound fighter in the sport of boxing. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you show your friends when they ask you what boxing is. Throw that fight on and watch them fall in love with the sport, just like all of us do. But yeah, that's it for me, man. I'm just fired up. What a fight and what a night for boxing. What a night for competition. What a night for a fight here on Sunday. But we have a lot of big stuff coming in the pipeline for boxing for this channel. Again, stay tuned. It's probably going to be the day after you're seeing this video. I'm going to interview Bud Crawford on this channel. Sit down, one-on-one, exclusive interview. You don't want to miss it. And make sure you're checking out the W.A.D.E concept on all of your favorite audio platforms. We'll actually have like some sort of thing for you guys to see this, but I'm on Spotify and I'm on Apple Podcasts, so you can listen in audio form there as well. It's been a crazy week. Thank you guys for all the support. What happens next in this wild world of boxing? I don't have those answers, but guess we'll find out.